everybody, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. Today is September 22nd, and I am Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore.
And I'm Devin Norris.
Hey, Devin, welcome to the show. And people, I feel like I've seen you on the internet before.
I have been on the internet before. I have a YouTube channel called Devin Talks Tabletop, and then I have also, over the last year and a half or so, made friends and made appearances with Quackalope and Board Game Co. So I've been around a little bit.
Cool. How far do you all live from each other?
I live a horrendous distance away from those two. Alex and Jesse live like a block and a half from each other, maybe. I live down in Arkansas, so I'm nowhere near Cleveland.
Wait, you drive up there from Arkansas to Cleveland just to be on the channel?
Oh, good. No, I do not drive. I'm not a masochist. I fly. So I've flown roughly-ish about once a month up there for the last 6-9 months or something like that. So
dedication.
Maybe 6 months. So it's been fun. It's been good, but I've also been doing my own stuff while I've been here in Arkansas. So it's been fun.
I've only been to Arkansas once, and I was surprised at how slow everyone drives there. No. That's not like a negative thing. I mean, it's both good and bad. It's good because I rule the roads, and I don't rule the roads here in Miami.
It's crazy. Florida driving is insane.
Well, I wouldn't say it's insane. I mean, it's pretty like
insane.
any big city area. But so, Devin, what's your favorite game?
Oof. Favorite game is probably Forbidden Stars from Fantasy Flight. So
interesting.
We were just talking about Forbidden Stars and the expansion that never got made.
Well,
it was
there's a fan-made expansion that we just did on BGG. There was a group of people that did a fan printing through a Polish factory. So I have that there.
The designer? Because I know the designer actually made an expansion.
I don't believe it included the designer. I know that Sam. Are you talking about Sam Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not his intended design. I don't believe, at least. If it is, then I didn't know the connection.
All right, folks, just as a heads up, thanks for joining us today. We are doing Board Game Breakfast. There will not be Board Game Breakfast next week because we are taking next Thursday off because of the Autumn Spectacular, which starts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Autumn Spectacular, a horrific-filled time of games. Not all of them are horror games. In fact, a lot of them aren't. But there are some horror games in there, including Death May Die, with the Giant Cthulhu was played. I haven't seen it yet. We'll see. Did Z beat Cthulhu? Cthulhu's still in the studio, so I'm not sure. Would you have expunged
Well, I'm still in the studio too, Tom.
That's right. So maybe it was a tie. I don't know what happened there.
Let's call it a tie, and you never look at it. How about that?
I'm also, and then the following week we'll be at the Spiel Fair in Essen. So, and then the following week we're going to be moving back here into the studio because I know we've been having lots of internet connections. In fact, folks, we have 2 internets here at the studio, and one of them is crashing consistently. So hopefully the other one that we're on works fine today. But we're going to be starting a new show on Thursdays, and we'll have more information about that in the future. But for now, we're going to jump to some contributors, and then I'm going to come back and whoop everyone in our last game show.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Nidavellir. This is kind of a bidding game. You're going to be bidding in order to draft more and more of these dwarves into your army. There's 5 different colors of dwarves, 5 different factions. The more you get of each individual color, the more points you're going to get in that color. But also, if you get sets of each, you're going to get extra leaders that are going to be special abilities as well. All the bidding is blind in this game, which is really fun, and you also get a chance to upgrade your bidding tokens, which is extremely unique.
One of the things that I really liked about the upgrading the bidding tokens is you sometimes just don't want to take that action, but you need to in order to do better. So I know that Ryan and I like to talk about some of the things we're doing to be healthier people, and that's one of the things that I've finally been able to do is I pack my workout bag and I run on my lunch, and sometimes I didn't want to do it, right? But I built a habit to it to where one time I was like, I really don't want to go for a run on my lunch, and then I realized I was running because I built this habit. I'm like, I didn't even know, how did I even get here? But it's cool to make those sacrifices so that way you can get better at other things.
In this game, I thought that it had a great blend of having multiple paths to victory. Whether you went for a strategy of getting a whole lot of sets of a couple of each, or whether you went for one or two colors, you got a whole bunch of those in those particular colors. All those paths to victory were viable, and they were all a lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun, and there were a ton of paths to victory, and I liked exploring it. I feel like I still haven't even explored all the different things that I can do with this game. I just really enjoyed it the whole time, and it was kind of fun to see like how you can hate draft, how you can see what other people are playing and kind of play against them. You could be that player in this game if you wanted to. You don't even have to play to win. You could just play to make sure nobody else does well. I don't recommend it, but you could.
It's not a winning strategy, but it is fun.
Yeah.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit us up on YouTube or on Facebook. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Until then, everybody, this is Ryan, I'm Bethany, and we hope you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye,
guys.
What was the first step to making things easy for me to get rid of board games? Very simply, there's a very simple way that you can get rid of board games in your collection without any pain or hurt for most of us. Some of us have attachments to them, and that's fine. If you feel an attachment to a game, by all means keep it. The board game police are not going to come by and question you of why you're keeping a game. But look and keep track when you go to gaming nights. I use an app called BG Stats that I use, and I get all my plays in there, and I keep track of who I'm playing with. Do you ever play with 10 players? Do you ever play with 24? Do you play with 12 people? Do you always play with 4 to 6 players? So it's very easy. First thing you can do to get rid of games is, if you never play in a party atmosphere, take your 5 favorite party games and keep them. Everything else goes. Or if you have a game like Captain Sonar that, let's say, it plays with 8, and you never play with 8. You're never going to be able to play with 8 people. And it's not just a party game. Those 8 people, within reason, need to know the game. Then get rid of it. You can always buy the game back. You can always play somebody else's copy. You can always go to a con. You don't have to own it. So the first thing that we're going to do this week is we're going to get rid of, I'm not saying you have to get rid of all of them. Calm down. Don't get mad at me. Just take aside the games of player counts that you're never going to see to the table. And you might need to get some numbers before you do this, but you pretty much know I never play with 18 people. So if you have a game that requires 18 people, that's easy to put in a pile to get rid of. So that's what we're doing this week. We're going to try to find the games and get rid of them.
All right, let's do it, everybody. Here we go. We've got a game show for you today, and folks, you are going to be trying to guess some themes, some themes that bring some games together. See, what I've done is I went to BGG and I looked up various families of themes. You can do this. They have things grouped together by the thematic connections. So I've got some of them here, and we're going to just start with one I'm going to spoil for you. I've picked the theme. I'm going to rank those by their ranking on BGG, most popular at the top, or highest ranked, I should say, at the top. I've gone down 20, and I'm going to start reading these things backwards from 20 down to 1. And my contestants here are going to be buzzing in, saying, I think I got it, or whatever you want, buzz, whatever you guys want. And then you can guess what you think the commonality here is, what the theme is. If you get it wrong, you cannot guess again until somebody else has a go. Then the other 2 players are back on the table. So, for example, number 20, Room Service, the card game. These guys know what it is already. The 19, Glastonbury. Spellbound.
Glastonbury.
Yeah, I don't know that game.
Dragon Cast. The Witches, a Discworld game. Wicked Witch's Way. And at this point, you might be thinking, okay, witches?
He said the word witches twice. Plus, room service has got witches.
So then you buzz in, you say, is the theme witches? You'd be right at that point. Let's say I got as far as Wicked Witch's Way. That's great. You're going to get a point for getting the theme correctly. And then we can try to guess. You are all going to be guessing any games in the same category, same family here, higher ranked than the ones I've mentioned so far. You do that, you get some points.
Glastonbury
All right.
2. Return to Glastonbury.
Return to the Boogaloo.
I'm trying to guess number 1 here, and I can't think of it because Whirling Witchcraft isn't going to be high enough. But there might be a game that has like a witch in it, like Descent or something, you know.
The number 2 is Broom Service.
Well, you just said
The
Broom
number
Service was the number
1.
20, I thought.
No, that's Broom Service, the card game.
The
Oh,
card
my-
game.
I was so dead. I'm so. All right. Could I just could I forfeit this game right now? Could I just forfeit this
Number
game?
number one is actually the Fox and the Forest, Tom.
Oh,
Which in that
the new. No.
I would
Is there
never
a witch
try
in
Not
that?
one we're using. This is not one we're using, so it's okay.
Thank goodness.
All right.
All right, so
Oh.
here we go.
Who's going to score the lowest
Go
here? I vote me.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one, and we're gonna start with
Okay.
number 20. You guys ready? Here we go. 20.
Yes.
Volt, Robot Battle Arena. 19. The Omega Virus. 18. Freedom in the Galaxy. The Star
Is the
Rebellion.
theme sci-fi?
It's not sci-fi. Next up, Mechanica. Next
Robotics.
up, I'll give it to you. The theme is robots.
I was going to say that right in the beginning. I was just going to throw it out.
Just said-
And now come to think of
said
it.
that.
So, oh, gee.
I was going to say
That would've
robots,
been
and then
good.
he said Omega Virus.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Mega
But-
Virus threw me off too. And then
But
Freedom
I'm-
of the Galaxy.
All right,
I
so I went
should.
as high as Mechanica here. You guys have quite a few left. The one who guessed
All right.
was Tom, so we're going to go around the horn.
I go
Bonnie
first.
gets first shot.
Tom gets first shot, you said?
No, Tom got the theme, so he has a point.
So Bonacor gets the
Go
first shot.
You do, and we'll come
I-
back around to Tom being last.
Robo Rally.
Robo Rally.
Now I'm dead.
is on there. Get one for that. All right, Devin, what do you got?
Oh, goodness. Drawing a blank. Adrenaline?
Good guess. It's not higher than. It might. That doesn't mean it might not be on the list. It's just not higher than what I'm looking at here.
All right. Well, my first guess was also Robo Rally. I will say Ricochet Robot.
Oh.
Ricochet Robots is on here. You get a point for that.
Yes.
Did I do anything with?
Bonacor.
I'm trying to think if I did any games with robots.
Oh.
Space Cadets Away missions. Probably not. I don't think there might have
that.
been a robot in there.
Not,
No, it wasn't.
Not on here.
Didn't put him in. That was going to be in the expansion that I never did. All right.
All right,
I'm out.
Devin.
Burn Cycle.
Burn
Ooh.
Cycle is on here. You got a point. You're on the board.
Sweet.
We got Tom with 2. Bonacor has 1. Devin has 1.
This is the first time I heard that Burn Cycle has robots. All right.
Tom, what do you got?
Technically, they're not robots, but I'm going to say Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica is not on here.
All right. Fair enough. I thought.
Do we keep going after we're out? I see Devin there cheating by looking at his question. No, I'm kidding. No, that's not cheating.
I've
That's a
seen
joke.
you all do that in yours.
If I win, I'm not in my
I
house.
think what I'm gonna do.
Do it every time.
What I'm gonna do is every time you guys get one wrong, I'm gonna go ahead and say the next one and dwindle the pool that way. So technically, let's just start from right now from Tom. So Tom, you said Battlestar Galactica. That's wrong. The next one is Transmissions.
Oh, yes.
All right. Next up, we've got Bonacor. What do you got? No, you can do it. There's some good ones in here.
He's thinking through the games he published.
Robot Factory.
Robot Factory?
I think there's a
No, I don't know what that is. Clearly, what you meant to say was Quirky Circuits.
That's what I meant.
Ooh.
Quirky Circuits. Devin.
Oh, I guess I'm going to say Anachrony.
Anachrony
that's a good one.
is not on here.
I think they might be mechs rather than robots.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's if they are mechs, that's too bad because my next one on the list is Tiny Epic Mechs.
This is absurd.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
All right, Tom.
There's one faction in Smash Up, so I'll say Smash Up.
Smash Up is on the list.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's crap.
Bonaparte.
I will go with Scythe.
It's not on the list.
Well, they got mechs in Scythe.
No, I don't know what to tell
Very
you, bud.
reasonable. Very
That's reasonable at that point, right?
Dr. BGG. The next one is GKR Heavy Hitters.
Oh, how did I think about GKR? Oh my goodness.
So we're just in the mechs at this point, except for Scythe.
All right.
I think.
Tom, you're sitting at 3 points, and Bonacore and Devin both have 1.
Is
Devin,
it my
what do you
turn?
got?
I was right about to say something, and then I lost. Unsettled. It's got.
Unsettled
Ooh, that's
is-
true.
It's got Luna. It's got Luna.
It's not on
going
here.
deep.
It's not
Oh,
on
who?
here. Yeah.
Unsettled should be on
Sentient
there.
is the next one. Sentient. All right, Tom.
I want to say BattleTech. I'm not going to though. Robot games. Robots
You have
versus
1,
ducks.
2,
ducks.
3, 4 that you haven't said. That's it.
Ducks versus robots. I know it's not on the list, but
Theme Park is on the list.
Steam Park. Ah!
All right. Next up would be Smash Up and Ricochet Robots. I'm skipping both of those. Bonacore, what do you got? You're not going to get these, but just on the off chance.
Thanks. Appreciate the confidence, but you're right. I'm not going to get them. There's obviously something there like Robo Wars.
Black Angel
Oh.
has. Okay, Devin, there's 2 left.
This is embarrassing.
Rock'em Sock'em. Do you know the plastic?
Oh, yes. That's a great one. It's not on the list.
It's a great guess.
Not on the list.
Aquasphere.
Aquasphere?
Son of a gun.
And then, Tom, you get the last go here. If you get this right,
Oh.
boy.
We're just saying anything we want at this point. Then?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mechs versus Minions.
Oh.
That's a good guess, too. But no,
But
it's
it's wrong.
Baseball Highlights 2045.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But how is Tiny Epic Mechs on the list, but not
Yeah.
Mechs versus Minions? That's
Hey,
ridiculous.
you know what? Welcome to the family. There we go. Moving on. Right now we're sitting at Tom on 3 points. Bonacore has 1. Devin has 1. And by the way, if when you guess a game, it is higher than the previously guessed one, I'm giving you 2 points instead of 1. Unfortunately, Bonacore guessed Robo Rally, which was the number 1. So nobody got, so I'll let you know what the points are. If you keep guessing higher than, you'll get points for that. All right, next up. Here we go, starting from 20. And again, you guys can buzz in when you think you know the theme. 20. Wasabi. Abandon all artichokes.
Food.
Buzz. Who got it?
I heard
Me?
Devin first. He said food, and the theme is food/cooking. That is correct.
I had that.
You're
I
getting
buzzed.
a point for
Buzz.
that, Devin.
Basil
buzz-
didn't buzz last time.
Well, cheats.
Buckcore, we're losing. We shouldn't fight each other. We should fight Tom.
Well, I'm always into that.
Fight
What
Good
he,
idea.
means to say, what he means to say is you're losing. You're at 1 point. Devin has 2. Tom has 3. Which means you're first, Bonacore. It is food and cooking. What do you got?
Wow. Okay. No, food. All right.
Food cooking games. Yes.
Agricola.
Agricola is on the list, Bonacore.
Yes, it is.
You got a point for that. All right, Tom. What do you got?
I'll say either Sushi Go or Sushi Go Party. I mean, it's the same game.
Oh, thanks
Why
a
don't
lot.
you pick one?
Huh?
I need you to pick one.
Oh, fine. I'll say Sushi Go Party.
Sushi Go Party, you got a point, Tom. Devin.
Yeah.
Steam Up.
Steam Up? That's too new. I don't think that's on here. Next up, Chateau Roquefort.
Oh, nice.
Don't worry.
Wait,
Bonacor,
so there's two different entries, I'm assuming, in the BGG database for Sushi Go and Sushi Go Party. Ergo, Sushi Go.
you get a point.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
Take
should have
whatever
done
you
the
need.
same
That's using
thing.
the old noggins.
I should
I
have done the same
smart.
thing. As soon as
All right, Bonacor, you're up. Bonacor, you're up to 3. Devin's losing now at 2 points. And now Tom is up. Tom, what do you got?
Food Chain Magnet.
Oh, good one.
Food Chain Magnate is higher than the highest so far, Agricola. I like your 2 points, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, you're sitting at 6 points.
Yeah.
All right, Devin.
Taco Goat Cat Pizza.
It's
One of my
not
kids'
on
favorite
here.
games. I hate it so much.
Not on here.
Golly.
Next up would have been New York Slice.
Oh, great. I go?
Bonacor.
Kitchen Rush.
Kitchen Rush is on here. Bonacor brings you up to 4 points.
I publish
What's it like to be good at this game, guys? Just
No.
curious.
I don't think it's on the top 20. It should be, though. Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate Factory is not only on the top 20, it's the next one, Tom. Nicely done.
Wait, I got
You
2?
get a bonus. Round of applause for that.
Wait, Chocolate Factory is ranked higher than Food Chain Magnet and Agricola?
Like it would be the next one I would read if you messed up.
Oh.
Oh,
Like it's the
okay,
next
okay.
one.
He's
Sorry,
saying
it
it's
was
the one
highest
he
one.
would
It's
have.
low.
It's the one he would have read if I had been guessing.
Got it.
Correct. Yeah, you're not gonna get 2 points for that. No, it's just cool that you happen to hit it right on the nose. That's all I'm saying.
Yay.
But you did get it, so that brings you up to 7, right? So Bonacor 4, Tom 7, Devin has 2 points. Count them. 2 points.
I'm on the board. Let's go.
That's all that matters.
That's more
What do you
points
got,
than I had at
Devin?
the
It's
beginning of
you
the day.
next.
Since he said Agricola, I'm going to say Feast for Odin.
Feast for Odin is higher than the highest mentioned so far, Food Chain Magnate, which means you get 2 points. Brings you up to tie you with Bonacor at 4 points.
Ugh.
And there is nothing higher than a Feast for Odin. It's the highest one. So everything now is 1 point from here on out. All right. That is back to Mr. Bonacor. What do you got, Bonacor?
Nacho Pie.
Nacho pile, I think is what you mean. And no, it's not on the list.
Yes, I've always wanted to eat a nacho pie.
Disgusting.
Hey, there is a game. It's just too new.
The next one was Cafe.
I like to
All
guess
right.
Uwe Rosenberg. But
Ooh.
I will guess Caverna.
Caverna is not on here, Tom. for some
Nice.
reason.
Oh, you don't feed people
next
Caverna,
up-
but you do an Agricola? Nonsense.
Spicy next.
That has
My
nothing to do with
next
food.
guess
Devin?
is viticulture.
Ooh.
Viticulture is not on here.
What? What? This is malarkey.
Well, viticulture is wine.
Malarkey is also not on here. That's negative 2 points.
Negative 2
now.
points.
No, the next one was Sushi Roll.
How many sushi games are on this list before they're going to let us drink some alcohol?
Who's up next here? Bonacor, Bonacor. Back to Bonacor.
Um,
Come on now.
Taverna. Not they could be confused with
Taverna?
Cavern.
Okay, no, the next one is Morel. The next one.
Ooh.
Tom, what do you got?
Fast food franchise.
Fast food franchise. That's not on here. Scoville is the next one.
Yes, because just temperatures of food makes more sense than wine. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
you're
hot
eating the
sauce and
peppers
wine.
in Scoville.
Okay, my guess is going to be Taverns of Tiefenhall.
That's a good guess. It's not on here.
I was trying to remember the
next
name
up
of that
is-
game.
That's why when you said Taverna,
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's Taverns of Tiefenhall.
Yep.
Oh, that's what you meant. Got it. Well, it wasn't on here anyway. Next up was Point Salad.
Oh,
No,
All right, and then you guys really have just one more. Back to you, Bonacor, which you're not gonna get, but well.
burger
Say, who moved
joint.
my cheese?
Burger joint.
Is good guess.
do you mean Burger Up?
I don't know. There's got to be a game named Burger Joint, and if there's not one, I'm coming out of retirement to make that
Well,
one.
there's definitely a game called Burger Joint, but
Dang.
it's not it. It's Grand Austria Hotel apparently has food.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
It's ridiculous.
All right. So right now we're sitting at Bonacor with 4, Devin with 4. Tom
It's
has
painful.
7 points. Okay, deal with
Painful.
that reality, folks.
Deal
All right,
with
here we go. Next theme. Number 20. Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. 19. Chronos.
Time travel.
That is correct. Time travel.
Bonacor for the win.
brings you up to 5. Right now, Devin's losing, so we're going to go Devin, Tom, Bonacor. Devin, what do you got?
Anachrony again?
Always.
Just keep
I'm
using that
deleting-
for everything.
Gets you a point, and it is the highest thing on the board. So nobody's got a double dip on this one. Anachrony. That brings you
Z,
up
what
to
was the
5, Devin. What's that?
Z? What was number 20?
Number 20 was Back to the Future, Dice Through Time.
Thank you.
I love that you apparently know 20 games to where you have to make sure you record that one.
No,
For your
no,
personal
no.
note taking.
All right, Tom, what
Okay.
do you got? What's your guess?
Back to the Future, Out of Time.
Oh my gosh.
Back to the Future. Can you clarify that title for me?
I said Out of Time.
That's not here.
All right, fair enough.
You might be getting something wrong.
Devin, you got a riff on that now.
I know, right?
There's another Back to the Future title, but that ain't it. So next up
No.
was Doctor Who, Time of the Daleks would have been next. All right,
course.
Bonacor, what do you got?
Timescape.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Dude, you're so close to a real one, but no.
You're so close to a real one.
So close.
We're just going to riff on time.
Duel of Ages would have been next.
Yes, I was
Oh,
thinking of
what?
that.
There's no time travel in Duel of Ages. Baloney.
I was thinking of it. I couldn't remember the
There's
name
no
of the game.
time travel in that game.
I couldn't remember it.
Sorry, Tom. You should write to the publisher. Next up is Devin. Devin, what do you got?
I'm good. I'm not going to get the name right. It's Chrononauts.
Chrononauts, it's the very next one, actually. So, yeah,
Oh,
that is correct. You have
sweet.
a point for that, Devin. Brings you up to 6. Right behind Tom at 7. Bonacor has 5 points.
I can smell what victory tastes like.
All right, let's
Smell
say
it.
time stories.
Time story
Oh,
is
Perfect.
certainly on here. You get a point for that, Tom. And if Anachrony hadn't been mentioned, that would have been the highest one yet. It's number 2.
I got this one.
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Heroescape.
Heroescape is a good
No,
guess. It's
There's no
not on
time
here.
travel in
No,
Heroescape either.
if Duel of Ages.
Oh, yeah, it's true. That is time travel. I forgot about that.
All right, Tom, what do you got? Trust
I think it's Devin's turn.
Oh yes, I am also ready to give a guess.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
Okay, Devin, yeah.
Ghosts of Christmas.
Passed.
That is so good. You know what? I started with Back to the Future Dice Through Time, which was 20. Ghost of Christmas would have been 24.
Ugh.
On the list, it's a little less highly ranked. So I'm sorry, I can't give it to you.
It's okay.
However, if you had said Legacy Gears of Time, that would have done it.
Oh, that was my next guess.
Yeah, that was my next guess too.
What do you got? Still a Back to the Future title out there, folks.
I got it. Back to the Future, Back in Time.
Thank you for helping
You
him.
gotta go back in time.
Thank you for helping him,
That's
Z.
right, Tom.
We really appreciate that. He neaded help.
I said it the first time. What are
You
you talking about?
forgot about it. You forgot.
didn't.
Forget
You
about
did.
it, okay?
Forget about
it. Oh, hey.
Okay, there we go. So 9 for Tom. Devin has 6 right now. Bonacor has a losing score of 5. All right. So after Tom, we've got Bonacor.
Time waits for no man.
The one you were very close to is the next one here, Bonacor. It's Deckscape Test Time.
It's just. Do I just need to add scape to everything that I
It's
say?
just,
Yes.
just put time in
Time
any
escape.
title. That's all.
Back
Alright.
to the Future scape. All right. I guess my next guess is Warp's Edge.
Warp's Edge is not on here. Nope.
Of course, it's
Theme
not.
Time. Theme Time would have been next. There's
All
at
right,
least
we're just guessing.
one.
I
There's at least one more that maybe you guys should be able to get.
got one.
All right. Let's get something stupid here. We'll go with Pirates versus Dinosaurs.
Not
Legit.
on here.
It's a legit guess.
Kingdom Rush. Rift in Time.
Do I go?
Are you kidding me? Okay.
Do I go?
Yeah.
Talisman.
Okay. No. The next one is The Loop.
Oh, Mike's going to kill me. The Loop.
That was the one obvious one that was left over.
Mm.
All right, Devin.
This is
I think-
ridiculous.
Probably based off of my knowledge of Glastonbury.
That's a good guess.
This is funny.
Next one would have been Tragedy Looper.
Oh, how did I forget Tragedy Looper?
Nobody ever forgets Tragedy Looper. All right. Who's up? Tom? Is it you? Losing track.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Time Stories 2.
No, come on.
You said it wrong. It's Time Stories 2 Back in Time.
It's Electric Boogaloo. But
Should have gone with Unlock. Timeless Adventures.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently
Okay.
has time travel in it.
If we're
It
looking at
does.
sub variations of Unlock,
guys-
I am
You guys will
screwed.
never get these next two, so I'm not going to bother. But for some reason, Bus is on the list next.
Oh, Bus! Oh, I literally have Bus right there. I'm an idiot.
wait, how is Bus time travel?
It's got a time travel token where you can stop time.
Really? Okay, well. And
What?
then after that was Shards of Infinity, which I don't understand.
I can't believe I
How
didn't
does
say
Shards of
Bus.
Infinity have time travel?
Oh, I don't know what's happening. All right, here we go, guys. Moving on to the next one. We'll do one more, I think, and then we'll move on. Right now, Tom is winning at 9. Devin has 6. Bonacor has 5. Here we go with the next theme. Number 20. Danger Park. Number
Theme
19.
parks.
Theme parks is
I should have
correct.
just
Theme
said
parks
it.
or amusement parks.
Amusement
Correct.
parks. I
Tom,
should have just said it.
Tom, you're at 10 points. Bonacor, you have 5. So we're going to start with you.
Me?
What do you got?
10 penny park.
Tenpenny Parks is on the list.
Yes.
You got a point.
Yes.
Number 6.
I'm amazing. Not.
Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur Island is number 1, Devin. That is the highest one. You got a point for that. Nobody gets to double dip on this one. You can thank Devin for that.
I'm here for you guys. Got to maintain my
Oh,
middle of the
got?
pack status.
This was on another list, so I'll go with Steam Park.
It is on here too. Steam Park. Tom, you got a point at that. Puts you at 11. All right, Bonacore?
I can't. Oh, no. This is so painful.
You can do it, little buddy.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster what?
The board game.
Oh, come on. It's right
It's
there.
Oh, that's painful.
I don't
That's
know.
painful.
Oh.
That Lung Land is the next one. That's off the list now. No one's going to get that. Who's next?
Just
Take
in
it, Devin, or
case.
I'm going to.
Devin,
Yeah, I'll
go
let you
ahead,
take
Devin.
it just because I don't want to mess up the wording because apparently Back to the Future time word wasn't accurate enough. So I'm going to say unfair.
Oh, yeah.
Unfair is on the list. In fact, you're working your way down the list. Dinosaur Island was 1. Unfair is 2, Devin.
I mean,
Somebody's
it almost
listening
like
to
we
Board
should
Game
get more
Geek.
points for that. So
I'll say
Not a bad idea. Maybe for version 2.0 of this game.
so Devin, you'll lose, but whoever follows you next may win.
You're iterating, okay? That's great.
thanks for the tip,
Tom.
Devin. I'll say Fun Fair.
Oh.
Funfair is also on the list.
I knew that if I
Just
said
as well.
1, but I had to say at least 1. So.
Bonacore, you want to try again?
Coney Island. I'm just
Coney
gonna.
Island is
I'm
on
just
the
gonna
list.
name amusement parks
Wait,
until
wait,
one
wait,
of them
wait,
had a
wait.
board game that
He
were in
said
the
it's
top
on the
20.
list. He said it's on the
Coney
list.
It's on the
Island is
list.
On the list.
I'm a genius.
Game.
A genius, I
There's
say.
a game called Coney Island 2011, which is on the list.
Wow.
That
I
brings
should
you
have-
up to
Wow.
7 big points, Bonacore.
I used to live very close to it.
All right, now he's theme name park dropping.
Alrighty. I'm going to riff off of Dinosaur Island and say Dinosaur World.
Dinosaur World is also on the list. That brings you up to 9. Tom Vassell.
Let's go with Roller Coaster Tycoon, the board
Oh.
game.
Roller Coaster
course.
Tycoon, of course, is on the list. Brings you up to 13. Bonacore.
He offered it
Sit.
to you, Bonacore. You had the option.
Six Flags.
Oh, really? This is what we're doing now.
This is what we're doing now. Dude,
No, Six Flags.
His
is
next
not
guess
on
will
the
be
list.
Disney World.
Okay.
Yes.
no, Universal.
That's a good guess.
No, the next one would have been something called Dragon Parks, which is actually very new. Dragon Parks 2021. Okay. Who's next?
I think we were just. I think we agreed to do a 5-minute brainstorming break. I thought we did. Was that not in the Skype chat? But I don't know.
Nothing else?
Coney Island 2: Return to Glastonbury.
Good guess. Good guess.
Thanks.
Scream Machine. Scream Machine. would have been
Ah.
next.
Oh, wow. That's an old game from Joe
I
Huber.
There's a
should have guessed.
couple- There's a couple you guys could still get here. So there's a couple.
Well,
of
I'm
points up for
wondering
grabs.
if all the new single ride games from Disney are on here. Anyway, I'll go with Wonderland.
Not on Tom. That would have been Tiny Park, whatever that is.
Z, you agree with me that Wonderland should be on there, though, right?
I don't know what Wonderland is.
He doesn't even
You
know.
reviewed it, you dork.
Might be thinking of a different title.
Did he just call you a dork? I wouldn't take that.
Pretty sure what you're thinking of is something else, and if so, then yes, it's on here.
Shh. Don't give him a hint.
Nah,
You can't
doesn't help
think
me
of
at all.
the title, okay? Calm down, Tycoon.
I'll take it.
Do I go?
All right, who's next? Sure, why not? Give it a try. Why don't you go twice in a row, in fact?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, that's a dumb guess. Dice Theme Park. Try again.
Oh, that's the last one I had written down here. All right.
No. Yeah, he wrote that down. It was a great guess.
No, the Dice Theme Park is what I
feel like
wrote
you guys
down.
are
Oh.
throwing in the towel.
Oh,
You guys are throwing in the towel.
yes. I think
All right,
so.
I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and just tell you. Right now we have Tom at 13. There's no catching up. That's the problem, right? Tom is dominating. Devin has 9, solid middle of the pack. Bonacore has 7. That's not bad. You tried, okay?
Come on.
Here's what's left, guys.
Solid
Just
middle of
said
the
Dice
pack
Theme
was on
Park.
my high school yearbook.
So, Tom, the one you're thinking of is called Wishland, not Wonderland.
You're right. Wishland. Take
That's
back
on
my
the
dork
list.
comment.
That would've
You
been
dork.
next. Then we've got Coney Island, which Bonacore nailed. We've got Disney, The Haunted Mansion, Call of the Spirits game. Is that one of the ones you're
Right.
thinking? 10 Penny
Yeah.
Cards. The Grand Carnival. Fun Fair. Meeple Land.
Meeple
Park.
Land.
Dinosaur World. Dinosaur Island, Roar and Right.
Yeah.
Unfair and Dinosaur Island. So you guys had most of them. The only other one you might have guessed was the Grand Carnival, maybe, but you guys got most of them. Anyway, Tom, you did very well, and you know what? I got some themes left for next time, so let's see what happens. That's gonna do it, folks. Tom, very well done. Devin, that's pretty good, man. That's a lot of good guesses. Glastonbury's always a safe bet.
It's a go-to.
Let's go
It's a
check
go-to.
out some.
Thanks,
check
Devin,
out
for
some
coming on the
trivia.
show. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Devin.
Appreciate it. Thanks
You're
so
the
much,
man.
guys.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Jordan, and I love roll and writes. You know, I talk about weeknight games on here, and roll and writes are pretty much perfect for that. I love roll and writes. I play a ton of them, and I feel like it's getting harder and harder to find, you know, the ones that are kind of rising to the top. You know, there's so many roll and writes out there, and so many of them are good or great, but there's like that next level, and that's really, at this point, what I'm looking for. And one of my favorite games that come out this year was Three Sisters, which I think is one of the best roll and write games to have ever been created. I love that game so much. But one that I also think is in that upper echelon of games that I've recently played that also came out this year is Next Station London. And this one is far simpler than Three Sisters. This one is kind of connect the dots kind of game where you're building routes across this map of London. And it's going to have different grid lines and different dots that you're connecting on here. But it has these colored pencils, and so each round you're going to use, maybe I'm using the blue colored pencil, and I'm going to draw the blue line. I'm going to draw that all over my board, starting from the blue space, and then after the round, everybody passes their pencils, and then you're going to draw maybe the pink line, and you're going to do the pink line over. But you can't cross paths with the other ones. And it just creates this really interesting spatial puzzle, and it just feels so streamlined to the perfect point where it's like the perfect balance of, you know, accessible and easy to get into, but also interesting enough that it's going to hold your attention and have a ton of replayability just in the order that the pencils are passing to you, but also the order that the cards are coming out, and some of the secret objectives that are this game objectives that come out each round or each game. It just, the marrying of those things just make this game really sing for me, and I just think this one is really fantastic. Plays great solo, plays great multiplayer. It plays exactly the same. It's pretty, you know, it's multiplayer solitaire, like many roll and writes are, but that's okay. I really like this one, and it's a nice small box. I hear it plays online too, so check this one out. Next Station London. I love this one. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I am Clara Backer and I'm talking about a game called Glow. So I played this quite a few times on Board Game Arena, and then I went and bought the physical copy. So what is Glow? Well, it's basically a roll and move game. At the start of the go, you choose a companion. That companion will give you a special power if you roll certain dice, and so you add that to your tableau. And the dice that you can actually roll on your go is determined also by the companion that you pick. So you choose depending not just on the power of the companion, but also on the dice, and maybe even scoring points as well. So then you get your dice and you roll and you see which ones you can do. There's lots of ways to mitigate the rolls. You can move backwards on the scoreboard. You can get reroll tokens. So it's quite interesting. And also, if you roll a cloud, you can use it for one companion, but also for another companion and another companion. You don't just use these dice once necessarily. And then at the end of the go, you also use those dice, and that determines where you can move on the board. Now, on one side of the board, it's 4 ships that you're moving out. On the other side, it's 1 companion that you're moving around. And you're basically trying to get points. Because you can use the dice in multiple ways, it can be kind of tricky. You've got to be very observant to keep an eye on what's going on. You've also got to make sure you do it right when you're moving around the board. And sometimes there's grey things on the board which are negative on a black and white board, so you don't always see them. Now, I bought this game. It is a very simple game, but I bought it because it's got absolutely glorious, glorious artwork by Ben Basso and Vincent Dutray. It's black and white line work with all these fantasy animals and creatures, and it's just beautiful. But the board is very small. The cards aren't necessarily oversized, which I think would have really helped. And the artwork isn't good enough reason for me to keep it in my collection. So it is going to be going. I will play it on Board Game Arena quite happily, but I just don't need it in my collection. I can see it perfectly well on the screen and look at the artwork there. So I'll do a full review on my channel. But until next time, I'm Clara. Take care and bye.
All right, let's start the news off here today with my annual complaining about the stupidity of the National Toy Hall of Fame. All right, it's not as bad as it is some years. So every year, the Strong Museum of Play, which, as a side note, is actually a pretty cool place.
Yep.
All right, but they announce the nominees for the National Toy Hall of Fame, and they always pick 3 winners, and then for some reason, all the rest of the nominees don't get nominated the following year. It's really weird. I don't even know how they do it. Anyhow, in the past, they have nominated things such as the blanket, the box, dirt, sand. Anyhow, at least they don't have any of that nonsense this year. They have bingo. I got to zoom in here because I can't see. Yeah. There's some horses, Catan, Light Bright, He-Man, Nerf, just Nerf as a generalized thing. Phase 10, I can't read this one here. Pound Puppies.
It's a pinata, right?
Racco.
Is that what that is?
That's a pinata. Yeah, that's what that says. It looks like a boombox
Pound Puppies,
pinata, but it's a pinata, yeah.
That's a weird picture to show for a pinata. Like, why would they show the traditional looking, like, donkey? Or burro, I guess.
Donkey pinata. I don't know.
All right, Racco, Spirograph, and the top. Now, a couple of these, like the top, you might think, why is the top not already in this thing? You know, the pinata is not really even a toy. It's like a activity at parties. I've never seen, hey, kid, go play with your pinata. It doesn't happen.
Go play with your pinata. I like it.
But we mention this because there are 4 board games, supposedly. First of all, bingo is not really associated with anyone under the age of, say, 50. Right?
Try 70.
Bingo. Maybe they did 50 years ago.
Kids don't play bingo.
Yeah, that's a stupid pick.
50 years ago, nobody lived past the age of 25. I understand about science.
All right. Anyway, bingo's a stupid pick. The horses, that's interesting, but very niche. So there's 3 board games. Catan, that's cool. Racco, Phase 10. I hate Phase 10 with a passion of 1,000 burning suns, but I can see why it's on here. But I wouldn't pick any of these games over. Top should already be in there. Light Bright is an iconic toy. Nerf is pretty iconic, and so is Masters of the Universe. You know, bingo makes no sense.
Here, I don't get how they do this. Light Bright absolutely should have been in here already. A spinning top? How is that not in there already?
It's weird. I don't understand it because every year they have these 12 nominees. 3 of them make it in, and then the next year there's 12 more nominees. I'm like, so did the other 9? Are they never allowed to be in again? It's stupid. Just say these are the 12 that are going in the Hall of Fame. Why even have voting?
Well, they must have an independent council that votes on these things, whatever
No,
that means.
I think you can go publicly vote for the final.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
by public ballot. They pick the 12, and then the public votes for 3. But then next year they'll bring in a completely different slate of 12. It's so weird. So comparing this to, let's say, another voting thing I know about, the Hall of Fame for baseball. If you don't get in the Hall of Fame, you can be nominated in subsequent years. It can keep happening. And if you don't make it in like 4 or 5 years, then it's like you're not going to make it.
It's really the whole concept is really bizarre. You know, that they have dirt in there. I mean, or if you're going to do it, like you just say, I think like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, don't they sometimes just like say like, okay, like you get in because of your work over the, you know, your amount of work that you put out, you know, your entire amount. So like, you know, the top. How could the top not be part of the Toy Hall of Fame? I mean, obviously, I didn't play with it when I was a kid. I know, all jokes aside, you know, but when you many years ago, this was the only thing there was. It's got to be kind of an iconic.
Hold on. You didn't play with the top when you were a kid?
I mean, it wasn't.
Top when I was a kid.
I mean, it wasn't
I played with the top when I was a kid.
I don't. I'm sure there was a top in the house.
And honestly, the top is still around today. Beyblades and other things. There's all.
Yeah.
I mean, the versions of the top exist.
Right.
Anyway,
I'm just.
This award is just to promote the.
You know what? We've just talked about it 3 minutes longer than we should have.
All right, let's jump into some games here. Tales on Fire. That's a very bright cover. I like it. This is from Heidelbar. Is this in that line of games that Spicy is in, Z?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, yeah, it says it here in the thing. Hungry Monkey and Spicy. I like that line. I think they're like very simple card games and fun.
Yeah, they're pretty anyway. I haven't played any of those, but they're very bright.
All right, but the theme is a little odd. The iguanas have stolen fire, and the possums want it back. I mean, I didn't know that those two creatures hung out together or something.
You never heard
But they don't. That's why one stole it from the other.
Never heard of that story. It's in the Hall
All
of
right,
Fame.
let's go.
It's in the
game that.
Hall of Fame.
Let's go to a game whose theme you do understand.
Oh, I understand this.
Beer
When I
and
saw this, I
bread.
was so excited. Insta buy.
Like, do you just instant buy any game that has beer in the title?
No, I don't own every game with beer in the title, but I know Scott Alms, excellent designer. Pegasus Spiele, they've been on fire lately with a whole bunch of things. I love the idea of beer and bread because literally that's a very important thing in early civilization. Bringing people together was to make beer and bread. That's true.
Yeah, that's why you like the theme, because it brings people together. All right.
He only drinks beer because it brings people together, Tom. That's the only reason Bonacore drinks.
Beer and bread have historical significance together, and I'm definitely going to check this out. I assume it's going to be, yes, it's an Essen. I'm writing this down to stop at their booth, which I would have anyway, but beer and bread, Pegasus Spiele. Thank you, Pegasus.
Hey, is bread in the National Toy Hall of Fame?
No, but beer is in next year. So
it's kind of odd.
All right. Also from Pegasus, Monster Inn. You're a local even dungeon master. You're trolling the local tavern to find monsters to populate your dark dungeon. So you're bidding to get monsters to go in your dungeon. I like that theme actually a lot.
I like that.
I don't believe I've seen this designer before, Roman Pelek.
Roman Pelek, I know I recognize the name, and I cannot place what he's done.
Well, I'm looking him up. He was born in 1974. Anyway, he's done Santiago.
Oh.
That's his most well-known, Santiago. Yeah. And then Shanghaian.
That's it. He co-designed that with Michael Schott. That's how I know him.
All right.
So he's a minor. I mean, he's not a particularly well-known designer, but Santiago was a minor hit. And then Shanghai, and I just happen to know that because I like Michael Schott.
All right.
This sounds interesting. Nice box.
Cool,
another thing from Pegasus is Dorf Romantic. Now, this is based on a video game, a tile-laying video game. So this is a case of the video board game now becoming an actual thing. We're going to see more and more of this, I assume. Building a village. I've not heard of this, but it might, because the name of it is Dorfromantik, it might be only in Germany. So it's designed by the team who made Bang the Dice game.
Yeah, those guys have, unfortunately, this is obviously just my opinion, they have Bang the Dice game, a great little game, and then several not great games for me. They're not a duo that I see their names, I do not perk up. I think, is this going to be a good one, or is this going to be a so-so one? Because they've had a lot of so-so games. They're also the guys who did the Dwarves game.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, one of the most popular video games, not only of this year, but of all time, is Elden Ring. Very, very popular. And Steamforged has picked it up. Not a big surprise there, since they did two of the other games from this company. What are the other games? Not Bloodborne, but Dark Ages or Dark? No, Bloodborne was Simon.
Dark Souls, Demon Souls.
Dark Souls they did, yes. First of all, I'm still kind of not understanding how you can take a game like Elden Ring, which is an open world game where you run around and fight monsters, and you grind. If it's anything like Dark Souls is terrible. But I don't like the board game. Steamforged doesn't have a great track record of making games. Their miniatures are phenomenal. They make amazing miniatures. The ones in Horizon Zero Dawn look incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm sure these will look great, but I don't know if the game will be good.
It is going to be a miniatures. There will be miniatures in the game?
Oh, for sure.
If it's Steamforged, for sure. That's all they do.
Yeah. Doesn't mention it in the write-up, but yeah, I'm sure you're right.
It's going to be going to Kickstarter in 2023, and I can't imagine it's not, busting the doors down.
Sure.
All right, The Rich and the Good. This is a redesign of a game that Z likes a lot.
Yeah, this is something I just showed to some of the guys here in the office, actually, not even a year ago. Brought out my old Habengut copy and showed it to some of the guys, something that had never come out before in English, and it's from 2008. And finally, there is an English printing of it, proving Tom's third law or something.
The third law of Vassal.
This is interesting. Not one I would have expected to ever be reprinted, I'll tell you. It's keeping the artwork from the old one, so that's nice. It was very good artwork. A simple little kind of bidding market manipulation sort of game. You manipulate the stock market.
All right, I'm not sure. I think I like the name, The Rich and the Good. It's interesting. It's
a very weird name, I think. I don't know.
Speaking of weird names, our next game is called Touch It.
Hey, just back away.
All right. So there's cards at 4 images on them. One of them's blown up. You're going to feel the backside of the card to determine which of the 4 images is printed there. That's a very, very, very one-note gimmick, but some people might like it. I don't know.
You have to feel the back of the card?
Yeah, so it will show, look at the cover here. See, it shows those 4 pictures. Uh-huh. You'll feel the back of the card, and it's going to be one of those 4.
Okay. And then?
I don't know, and then. That's the whole game.
You get to the bottom, and you touch it, and you're like, ooh, what is that, some sort of big hat or a couple of fish? I don't know. You got to touch it.
And, okay, interesting. I'm not sure about that one.
All right, well, if you're like me, the other day I went into the store looking for some Halloween decorations and instead found mostly Christmas stuff. Because why not? It's September. Steve Jackson is making some Christmas games, The 12 Dice of Christmas and Bad Christmas, starring Billy Bob Thornton. Bad Christmas, you're just trying to give each other bad gifts. The other one, you are claiming dice to complete your Christmas shopping. I'm assuming these will both be very, very simple games because they're from Steve Jackson. I like the the packaging of Bad Christmas a lot, though.
You mean the look? Because the packaging is going to be bad. But the hang.
No, okay, yeah, let me rephrase that. I like the look of that. It looks very Christmassy. The 12 Days of Christmas looks a little janky, actually. The 12 Dice of Christmas.
Yeah, that 12 Dice of Christmas looks real Five Below to me. That is very cheap looking. I mean, the other one, yeah, it looks all right.
Bad Christmas that's a fun theme, trying to give you, but it's kind of one trick, right? So after you've given somebody the bad socks or something like that, I've given it to you again later. I guess it's one you pull out every Christmas.
Card game.
Yeah, you pull it out every Christmas.
Like a card game.
Sorry.
When did you pull it out? Anyhow, hey, this next game could have been on Z's list. Disney Space Mountain. So I'm assuming at this point they're just going to make a game for every ride at Disney.
Yeah.
Because they've done Jungle Cruise, they've done Small World, they've done Big Thunder Mountain, and now Space Mountain. Do you have to play this game in the dark and not see anything?
That would actually be great. If they did that, that would be something. That would be a twist. Maybe you're supposed to touch it.
Can't touch this.
I actually don't like Space Mountain that much because it's dark the whole time, and I don't find that to be fun. I want to see what I'm doing.
Terrible. I've never done it, but you go through it when you take the people mover. You go through it, right? Like for a little part of it here in Florida, anyway. And I once went through it when it was shut down and lit. It was turned off and lit, so I got to see it a little bit. But the fact that it's in the dark, no. Where's that get fun? No.
It's actually not that scary of a roller coaster. Like when you see, I've seen pictures of it, where they just showed the coaster. It's very mild, but because it's dark, I was like sitting there the whole time, afraid the top of my head was going to get chopped off. Anyhow, Stonemaier Games is making a game called Smitten. It's a 2-player cooperative game that doesn't definitely show artwork from all his other games.
Let me see if I can
This is the new thing now. Here. Companies make little games that promote theirs. Now, this is just a micro game. It's what? I don't know how many cards it has.
$10, 9 cards.
18 cards. Well, you have 2.
Right, 18.
18 cards. Is that like a rule if you make a micro game, Z, for make 18 cards? Why is everyone 18?
I don't know. 18 seems to be a very popular number. I think all of the pocket games, the button shy games, are 18.
Yep.
Sure. That's just weird to me that someone else made. Maybe someone made this for button shy. They didn't pick it up and they brought it to. No, it's Jamie Stegmaier himself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the manufacturing punch can do 18 cards very easily, but more than that, then you need to punch twice. One game. There must be some logic. Why a lot of games have 54 cards.
Well, there's a very specific logic for that.
Well, maybe that's what it is, because 18 times 3 is 54, right?
Yeah, but it's actually not 54 because you get extra cards in them. You get the little cards that show you the company's name. 55, I think, is the number that comes in that. Anyway, do they put into these micro games? Do they put more than 18 cards? Don't they put a instruction card, or do they have a little booklet? I forgot.
No, that's usually a booklet.
A booklet. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So
booklet. Yes.
It is interesting. 18 is not as noble a number.
I recognize the artwork here from what? There's a mech, I guess, from Scythe. There's a guy at the top from Red Rising. A bird, I suppose.
That's
there's a bunch of cats. I don't know what the cats are.
Oh, for all I know, maybe they're from upcoming games.
And then a bunch of kids from. Oh no, those aren't kids. Those are the people from his Legacy game over there.
Charterstone.
A monkey, I guess, from the reprint of the pirate game. What's the crazy-looking guy with the axe in the bottom? What is that from?
That's Scythe, probably, right?
Maybe. Oh, that's got people, not monsters.
No. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Viticulture. He was drinking too much wine.
That dude thinks he's a barbarian because he's drunk out of his mind.
All right. Here's some cool news. Wizards of the Coast has announced a D&D after school kit and themed teaching materials, which
Very
is super interesting because 40 years ago, if you had announced this, there would have been a parent till March, and they would have burned down Wizards of the Coast.
True story.
Bringing Dungeons and Dragons into the school.
It's demonic, the whole thing.
Anyway, there's a new teaching kit aimed for grades 4 to 6 and 6 to 8. And I'm curious. I would like to get my hands on one of these, actually, just to see what it's like.
It's so bizarre. You're right. This is the wildest piece of news I've seen in a while.
It's an absolutely great idea.
How do you incorporate this to your classroom? I mean, they are talking about it helps teachers add D&D to their language, arts, and mathematics lesson plans.
Well, depending what version of D&D you're using, there's a lot of math involved, and there's definitely reading involved.
Yeah.
And it can teach writing because you want to be able to write a good module. I'm not joking here. I think this is actually a very good thing. Hang on a second. Let's look at some bacon. We're back.
We have to look at bacon every now and then, Bonacor, okay?
I don't know what that means.
The bacon.
Okay.
Worry about the bacon, Bonacor.
All right. So after D&D, so a year ago, Asmodee/Z-Man Games released a World of Warcraft game based on Pandemic. They're now doing a Star Wars one based on the Pandemic system. This is called Star Wars: The Clone Wars, based on a very popular cartoon. So I actually like the World of Warcraft one a lot. I felt it was different enough from Pandemic. So I have okay hopes for this one. I don't know a lot about it, how it will work, but
I don't
looks
think
like
this is based on the cartoon, Tom. It doesn't look to be based on that cartoon. I think it's just during the Clone Wars in Star Wars lore, but like the pictures.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Cartoony.
You're right. Maybe it's not.
This is.
I love Pandemic. I mean, there's a lot of Pandemic games. We'll see. At this point, I'm a little like, okay, this is starting to become its own joke a little bit, unfortunately, So it's like, okay, World of Warcraft, Star Wars. What's next? Like Rachel Ray, Pandemic, where, at some point, it's
I will say this, I do like that they put Pandemic system very small in the corner.
Finally, and they made that switch finally after, a few games where it clearly didn't make sense. They made that change. I appreciate that. That's cool. I think it's better. I don't know. This might be neat, and I'm definitely gonna play it. There's no way you're stopping me from playing this. I'm just not necessarily. I saw this and I thought, okay. Instead of another Pandemic one. I wasn't psyched.
All right. Okay, we started with awards. Let's end with awards. So, Origins. So, Gamma did not do the Origins Awards this year because they were retooling them, I think. That's the reason. They didn't really say much. They just didn't do them this year. So, I don't think they did them last year either. But anyhow, they've changed the categories around. So, they have the big award they have is Tabletop Game of the Year. So, any game could win that board game, RPG, card game. Then they have Best Board Game, Best Card Game. They used to have Best Card Game was split into two halves. It was Best Card Game Traditional and Best Card Game Collectible. Now they just have Best Collectible Game, which makes more sense.
Right.
Best Children's Game, Best Miniatures Game, Best Role-Playing Game Core Book, and Best Role-Playing Game Supplement, which is nice. Because in the past, they just kind of lump role-playing together, so any new D&D supplement could kick the snot out of some new game.
Right.
Yeah.
This next one I don't understand. It says Best Game Artwork 2D and Best Game Artwork 3D, unless they mean miniatures.
Yeah, I mean, they have to really mean what else would a 3D
why not say
game...
Best Game Miniatures? It seems... I mean, I guess it's fine. I just don't understand that. And then Best Game Accessories. And then best game review.
How about that, Tom?
I don't know that I like that at all, actually. That just seems.
You might win an award. It's perfect.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would put money down that I won't.
So would I.
But I don't know what the point of that is. I mean, I guess you want to do good game. What's it? I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see.
I'll tell you one thing, Tom. If I win this award and you don't, you're going to hear about it every day.
Oh, yeah.
It will be
every day of your life.
Over his desk. I'll be like, Z, I need you to do something. He'll just hold the award up. I'm like, never mind.
You mean award-winning Z? I need you to do something. Thank you.
He's going to be wearing a hat that says that. No, I think that this is because they've had the Origins Awards such a sketchy past, and then and then when they revamped it, the award categories, some of them were weird, as you mentioned. At least, I mean, besides best game review, that is weird. Besides that one, everything here makes quite a bit of sense. I actually agree with them making the awards like this. I think it's good overall for what they're trying to do. So kudos to them.
I agree. I'm happy with these awards. They did drop digital adaptation.
What is that? Odd. What was that?
Like digital board games on the app or on Steam.
Okay. Like a game that went onto Steam. That doesn't.
But I can see why they don't do that, because people at Gamma aren't necessarily selling those. It's about actual physical games.
Yeah.
And another big change they made is that they finally changed the eligibility period to January 1, 2022 to December 15th, 2022, which I don't know why. If you're between 16th and 31, are you screwed? But it used to be like from October to October, which is really weird. And they're announcing the awards at the Gamma Trade Show, I believe, rather than at Origins.
Okay.
Sure. That's probably a good idea because the retailers are involved, with it a lot.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm a big fan of retailers voting on awards because they just vote for games that sell well.
No, I'm not saying that they're going to vote on it, but they're very invested, right, in the best ones. That's what I mean.
All the publishers more publishers go to Gamma than go to Origins. So they're gonna.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of publishers who don't display at Origins, but they still go to Gamma.
Sure, but yes, I'm basically agreeing. So, okay. I mean, in general, I like this best game review. I can't wait to see the winner of this. I can't wait to see the nominees. I can't wait to just see what this is going to be. It's going to be amazing.
I don't know how this is going to work. Like, will there be a bias towards video or against video? Will there be a bias towards positivity, negativity, humor, not humor?
I can't. That's the most. That award is my favorite award.
Me and
just
Z,
to see what it's going to be.
It's so tempting for me to get together with Z and for us to make a for your consideration video.
Yes.
Oh.
And like make a video that's like clearly, how sometimes in a movie you're like, that scene they put in there just for the Oscars,
Yes.
Like, I'm
monologuing, that emotional monologue.
You
good.
do that. You put out a for your consideration, and I'll put out I'm like, please don't consider that. This is crazy.
We'll see. It will be interesting. I don't know what this will bring, but either way, we'll certainly be watching it.
That could be really funny, Tom. That could be really hilarious.
Very good.
All righty, well, that's the news.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University. Tarrant, Battle Yahtzee?
What do you have there?
Dice Throne.
Dice Throne, yes. Marvel Dice Throne.
Marvel.
Specifically.
Not just Dice Throne, it's a Marvel one.
As we said, I do have a habit of calling this game Battle Yahtzee.
I know, he does.
That's how I see it. It's it's not my sort of game necessarily, but the way they put it together is really clever, and now they've managed to break into the IP world. So that is what any game designer wants, right?
Yeah, and the first time I found out about the Marvel theme, I was like, yes, I mean, we know that this can be applied at any themes at all. Could be Disney, could be Pokemon. You know, Pokemon Battle Yahtzee, Pokemon Dice Throne. Anyways, hopefully that will become reality. But this is the Marvel one, which has got. This is just the 4 characters. There are more from this.
Yep.
I like playing Ms. Marvel. I do like the WandaVision, and they are very thematic.
Yes. Yeah, that is something that's quite effective with the characters that you can put into this game. It gives you lots of capability for theme because you're not limited by the components, because they're all custom dice, they're all custom tokens. It makes for, you know, they've got expansions for years here.
Yeah,
if they need them.
I can see this is still coming. So hopefully they'll keep coming with new, even like She-Hulk, Marvel Dice
It'll
Throne.
just be the lawyer side of things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it, everybody. Hopefully you have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.
All right, folks, that's the end of another board game breakfast. And in fact, so I mentioned this at the beginning, we've heard you loud and clear, the 7,000 billion comments about our audio quality and stuff mixing back and forth over this. We're trying to fix that, and we're going to be pulling this in studio. So occasionally, every week, Mr. Bonko is going to drive down hour and 45 minutes to show up here in the studio, and an hour and 45 minutes back.
You never asked me if I would do that, Tom. And
Well, first of all, you're not in your home half the weeks of the year.
Well, you saying I'm not here with Jack Nicklaus behind me? It's my brother's house in Atlanta. In that case, you're right. I'm not here in Florida.
Anyway, you might see Mr. Bonko show up at various times across the end. We're going to be doing a similar show, folks. We'll still be talking about news and a few other things, but we're going to rename it. If you have a good name, email me at tom@dicetower.com, or maybe we'll make a poll on Facebook. But we'll talk more about that in the future. But for now, Mr. Bonko is not dying. So where can people find you? Well, you're not. You're still alive.
First, I'm not dying, so you can still find me out there. First of all, I have you should call this Board Game Breakfast without Bonacore. It's like perfect. Board Game Breakfast without Bonacore. That's your new name.
Tempting. Maybe the new show will just be called Without Bonacore.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. But thank you, Tom, Z, all of the Dice Tower staff, and everybody out there. Thank you so much for having me on here or supporting me. I've gotten so many great comments over the years from people who see me, like, love you guys, love the banter between everybody. So really thank you, Tom and Z and staff, for having me on all this time. It's been a lot of fun. And yes, I hope I am invited to come and drive down. I like driving down, so I will do that, of course, when I'm invited. But in the meantime, please follow the Podfather of Gaming, especially on YouTube. That's where I post most of my stuff, including my podcast in video form, which is Board Games Insider. That's on the Dice Tower Network, and we've been running that for over 8 years now. So you can watch us every week. We drop a podcast, either a regular podcast and the video on the YouTube channel, so you can watch those. And just to really tease something, I have a huge announcement that will be posted on the YouTube channel before I leave for Vegas for the World Series of Board Games. So I got to get that out. It's a huge game announcement where I'll be showing off something that's not announced yet from a certain company that wanted me to do this. So that's a big thing. In the meantime, so sign up for the Podfather of Gaming YouTube. Please subscribe. In the meantime, I hope to see everybody out there at the World Series of Board Gaming in Vegas next week. Tom's going to be there. I'm going to be there. That's going to be massively fun. And then after that, all of the European friends and American friends that come out at Essen the week after that. So I'm going to be, Tom and I are traveling for 2 straight weeks starting Tuesday, right? It's going to be massive. A lot of travel. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I enjoy it. You make all kinds of faces, but I like the getting out there and hanging out with everybody. To me, that's like the best.
Like going to these places. 2 weeks is a long time.
It is a long time away. It's like the longest on a business, trip, on one of these, board gaming related, excursions, the longest one. So thanks again, Tom. Thanks to you. It's been great.
All righty, folks. Well, that's it for Board Game Breakfast. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore.
Have fun gaming.